When you're injured by a dog in the state of Alabama, you actually have additional avenues of recovery or avenues of liability against the dog owner that aren't always present in other personal injury cases. Most of the time, when we're dealing with car wrecks or premises liability cases, we're dealing with the concept of negligence, whether someone acted reasonable under the circumstance. Now, negligence is available in a dog bite injury in the state of Alabama, but there are also specific state statutes as well as local city and county ordinances that can come into play. Some of those statutes involve things such as going onto someone's property with the legal right to be there and being injured by a dog while on that property. We call that the mailman law around our office, and we have little nicknames for each of these statutes because we deal with dog bite injuries so frequently. Other statutes that can come into play involve things like the leash law and a vicious animal statute, which deals with the history of the animal, the breed of the animal, as well as any prior instances and how the dog owner manages that animal in light of the knowledge they have about it. Every dog bite case is very unique and usually involves different specific instances of statutes, ordinances, and our common law here in Alabama. There's a misconception about dog bites in Alabama that a dog gets a free bite. A lot of times folks commonly refer to this as the one bite rule. That is not the law of Alabama. Every case has to be evaluated. There is no free pass for a dog. There is no one free bite. So when you're dealing with an injury that arises from a dog bite or injured in other manners from a dog, it's important to speak with a lawyer who has experience in these areas. If you want a review of the specific statutes, I encourage you to visit our website at alabamainjurylawyer.com. We have a page dedicated to the specific dog bite statutes that oftentimes come into play, as well as a page that's dedicated to local ordinances of towns and municipalities around this state, speaking to things like breed-specific regulations, insurance regulations. All of our lawyers here at Bruner Barnett are well versed in these statutes and ordinances, and we can help you walk through that. A common issue that also arises nowadays is workers' comp or being injured on the job. I've routinely represented folks who work for Amazon, UPS, FedEx, the post office, who are injured while they're delivering packages. This is an everyday occurrence given the frequency of delivery drivers interacting with dogs upon people's properties. Workers' comp brings in an entirely new issue into the case. We're familiar with that. We can help guide you through that process. As far as damages that are available to you, the standard personal injury damages are oftentimes the easiest to see. Those would be things like your medical expenses and your lost wages, but also pain and suffering, any mental anguish or emotional harm as a result of being involved in a dog bite are recoverable damages in the state of Alabama. And under the right circumstances, depending on what we know and what we learn about the dog and the dog owner's knowledge, or even a landlord or a property owner who doesn't own the dog but allows it to be on their property, punitive damages could come into play. So because of the fact-intensive nature of dog bite injuries and dog bite cases, it's important to speak with an experienced Alabama dog bite lawyer to review your rights and come up with a strategy to best maximize your recovery following such a traumatic event.